Hello and welcome to the 49ers First and 10 podcast, 10 minutes of the most up-to-date 49ers news, first thing in the morning. I'm your host, Brianna McDonald, and I'm joined by 49ers team reporter, Lindsay Polares. The 49ers were on a very big stage last night with a primetime Sunday night football showing, and they had a very big game, scoring a season-high 42 points to defeat the Dallas Cowboys and now stand 5-0 on the season. This matchup was very highly anticipated, with both teams being ranked among the top of their class, two high-powered offenses, two very strong defenses. So with that, Lindsay, did you expect the 49ers to win by this wide of a margin?
I think for a lot of people, the lopsided portion of Sunday Night Football was a little surprising, and it's for all the reasons that you mentioned. On paper, these were two evenly matched teams, but obviously, football not played on paper. What we saw materialize on the field was just an absolutely complimentary performance by the 49ers, and they got hot early and they never really let up. And I think that was kind of the key here to make sure that Dallas just never really had an opportunity. They were incredibly efficient on the offensive side of the ball. And I think anytime the defense starts with a 3-and-out, that really sets the tone for the rest of the game. And then special teams was on the money too. So really, Dallas could just not make a play that would affect the 49ers. They were rolling, and it's something that the team keeps saying, it's all about us, and they got themselves going very early and they never looked back. So, yeah, not what I expected to see play out on the field. Obviously, really an encouraging win to watch happen, and just you just see the potential of this team after a win like that.
The 49ers came out hot to start the contest, which has been a running theme for the team so far. On Sunday night, San Francisco started the game by charging downfield, and quarterback Brock Purdy connected with George Kittle for a 19-yard touchdown strike, the tight end's first touchdown of the night. But when you look back at the 49ers' last four games, you can see that they've scored in every opening drive so far this season. In week 3, it was a field goal. But Lindsay, how important is that strong start in the 49ers recipe for success?
Yeah, I think it's all about energy and how the team just hypes themselves up. The defense feeds off of what the offense is doing and also vice versa. So you see that opening drive just pretty much just go seamlessly down the field. And then George Kittle, just a huge ball of energy always, but he can get anybody hyped up. You see him get his first touchdown reception of the year. That fires everybody up. And kind of like I mentioned, then the 49ers defense goes out and forces two straight 3-and-outs, and you've got the ball rolling on a very, very good game. And we saw it play out. And, obviously things got out of hand for Dallas pretty early. And then in that fourth quarter, we saw a lot of the 49ers starters actually start to come off the field because this game was out of reach.
Yeah, taking control of the game was such a crucial part of the 49ers' success on Sunday night. And quarterback Brock Purdy did a fantastic job of keeping control of the game. And in doing so, he scored a career high 4 touchdowns and recorded a career high passer rating of 144.4. But what impressed you the most about his performance against the Cowboys?
I mean, what to say about Brock Purdy? I feel like he just continues to build off of a strong performance one week and then just gets better the week after that. In week 4, it was this crazy high completion rate. I think that this week I was just really impressed, particularly on that trick play, the flea flicker, just the amount of composure that Brock Purdy has in the face of pressure, because he had a Cowboys defender running right at him, and I'm pretty sure, got hit at the end of that play, but just a pinpoint accurate throw to George Kittle for that touchdown. And it just makes the whole play so much more impressive. And I think you just saw that time and time and time again from Brock Purdy. Like, they talk a lot about this, the team, just how composed and cool and calm and collected he is. I think that's one of the better qualities of Brock Purdy. Obviously an incredibly talented passer, but just he nothing phases him. He is at a cool 70 always, and you're just seeing how that positively impacts his performance on the field. We heard from George Kittle, who said he has great pocket presence. He just sees the field really well. And I think all of those combine to, put together that performance that we saw last night.
Yeah, an outstanding performance. But what were your biggest moments from the 49ers offense? I mean, just looking at the scoring sheet, they had two one-play touchdown drives. So, just how efficient and dominant did they play against Dallas?
Yeah, I think that the 49ers offense just took advantage of every single opportunity that they had. And I think, yeah, you absolutely see that come together because you've got two one play touchdown drives. And I'm continue to be so impressed with how it can be anybody that scores a touchdown or makes a huge play for this team. I think it was really great to see Jordan Mason very heavily featured in this game, just to get Christian McCaffrey a little bit of time off. And Jordan Mason actually ended up being the leading rusher in this game. So 10 carries for 69 yards, including that 26-yard rushing touchdown that came on one of those one play touchdown drives. Obviously, also great to see George Kittle get his first 3 touchdown game of his NFL career, which I was actually surprised because I just feel like George Kittle has been so successful in this league for so long. I'm surprised that he hasn't had a hat trick before. But it was great to just hear also his teammates' reactions to that. Nick Bosa said that George Kittle was due for a big game, and that big game came one day before his birthday, which is today. So happy birthday to George Kittle, and what a way to ring in that new birthday year.
Yes, happy birthday to the people's tight end. What a fun way to celebrate Victory Monday. And, it's hard to name the biggest player of the game with so many playmakers shining on Sunday night. But I feel like if I had to name one, I'd have to call on all pro linebacker Fred Warner. He did a little bit of everything in this game: a sack, a forced fumble, and an interception. He's known as the heartbeat of the defense. Lindsay, how important is his leadership, especially in this game?
I think it's everything. I think one of the things that has become one of the Fred Warner hallmarks is the hype up speech before the game. And then, if you haven't seen it already on 49ers.com, he gave a great locker room speech as well. And I think he's just such an important veteran presence for this team. And then you see how he goes out and plays, and it's really just the complete package. Again, we heard from Nick Bosa post game, and he said he's the greatest in the world, and it's not even close. Last night, that sack, interception, and forced fumble was a first since 2013 when NaVorro Bowman did it. And I think it just makes the comparison that Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner have to NaVorro Bowman and Patrick Willis even stronger, because both of those guys continue to perform on the field week after week. And I think we're watching, some future Hall of Famers in real time.
And the 49ers defense was hunting for the ball in this contest. They brought a lot of surprises. And Faithful, Lindsay and I sit next to each other in the press box. And when the defense was out on the field, I felt like I had to reach over and grab Lindsay's arm throughout the game. And there was just so many big moments. So, Lindsay, can you run us through what some of the biggest moments were from the 49ers defense against the Cowboys in Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, I think we have to start with the forced fumble early on in the game, because that was just wild to see that develop. Because you see the replay, because you kind of see just a lot of players flying around on the field, right? But then we see the replay, and you see Fred Warner knock out the ball from Tony Pollard. It goes loose, and then there's a lot of people tumbling over each other, legs flying, and then you see Kevin Givens recover the ball. And that was, I feel like, one of the tone setters, because there were just so many. And then towards the end of the game, I think it was the end of the third quarter, good things come in threes. First, we see Tashaun Gibson Sr. get that first interception off a Dak Prescott deep ball passing attempt. Then you see Fred Warner come up with interception number 2 of the night off a deflected ball by Diamador Lenore. And then a big moment for linebacker Oren Burks, who got the third pick of the night, and it was also his first career interception. it's hard to identify a top moment from the defense because there were just so many. And in addition to 4 takeaways, the defense also had 4 sacks. So, I mean, take your pick. They balled out last night.
Absolutely. National outlets have been calling the San Francisco 49ers the most complete team in the NFL right now. But was this the most complete win you've seen from the 49ers so far this season?
I have been blessed to see a lot of really cool 49ers wins, but yeah, I think last night they were just on a different level. It felt as if there was no way they were going to lose that game because they just were not willing to, and they really imposed their will in every facet of the game. So yeah, I would say that was quite the showing of complimentary football, and I just feel like Sunday night football, you add in the rivalry, this game just had everything, every epic element that you can think of, it was thrown into the mix. And yeah, it was, I mean, it was very one-sided. And I know this was a huge win for the organization and the team. And I think confidence is very high in that locker room right now.
Absolutely. Well, that will do it for today. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for joining me in this update. Don't forget to follow First and 10 on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Turn on the notifications so you're in the know when we post any breaking news updates. And thank you, Faithful, for tuning in.